just didn't know like what I was doing, like what my future held.
Yeah.
Because I kind of thought like, oh, that was it, like you only sort of get one shot. And I was happy to just write songs really for other people after that, after I kind of got over it.
Yeah.
And yeah, and then that sort of somehow turned into me singing the songs again.
How old were you when the Ed Sheeran like tour and meeting him happened?
I was 17.
Oh,
yeah,
so it was before everything.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it's quite a weird time in my life. I originally found him because I really liked Mike Posner, and then I checked out Mansions, and then I checked out Blackbear, and I was like, oh, like he's really big here over in America. And yeah, I've just been a fan for a while, and then he heard my song The Best You Had and started like putting it in his Insta stories and tweeting the lyrics, and I was like, oh, how lovely. So yeah.
Hi, this is Lauren Engel. Today I'm here with Nina Nesbitt.
Hi.
So you were born in Livingston in Scotland?
I was.
Yeah.
That's very good research.
Are your parents... Oh no, your mom's actually Swedish, right?
Mum's Swedish,
Yeah.
Dad's Scottish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you describe like Livingston's like a small...
Livingston's like a small town.
Yeah.
When I first lived there was pretty much nothing there except from suburban housing.
Yeah.
Sort of cul-de-sacs, and then it kind of grew, but I moved to a place called Balerno.
Okay.
That's kind of where I say I'm from, because I moved there when I was 12 and did all my like growing up there. And that's a small village outside Edinburgh.
Yeah.
So I'm basically just from a small place that none of you have heard of, but it's very beautiful.
But it's interesting because your parents, neither of your parents are really creative, right?
No.
Yeah, like your mom's a childcare.
My mum worked in childcare. My dad, I still actually don't know what he did. It was something in an office with like, electronics. But yeah, very normal jobs.
What kind of music were they playing in the house when you were growing up?
Pretty much chart music, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
And then my mum loved pop music, so she loved like ABBA, being Swedish. She loves Mariah, Whitney, Christina, Britney, like all the pop divas. And then just like whatever was on the radio, we'd always have the radio on in the kitchen. So I feel like that's why I have like quite like a pop sensibility. And then my dad listened to like Roxy music, more alternative stuff. I was never really influenced by that, I don't think. But yeah,
and
basically.
Yeah, growing up you were doing a lot of gymnastics, right?
Yeah, so I was a rhythmic gymnast.
Yeah.
I was at school.
At what age was this? Because you were competing in it.
Yeah, so I was in the Scottish team. I would train like 4 times a week, every weekend.
So cool.
I loved it.
Yeah.
I think it gave me like a good idea of like hard work at a young age, and I kind of moved that into music.
Yeah. And what age did you like start to think that you could like sing and like
still don't know if I can sing.
Oh my god, no!
No, I was 15, I picked up a guitar. I'd had a piano, well a keyboard thingy in my house from the age of 10. So I was writing songs from about 10, but they were like really bad. And then I started properly writing about 15.
You're also writing some like stories, right?
Yes, I started off writing short stories and poems, and then started putting into music at about 10.
How would you describe your personality back then growing up?
Really shy and introverted.
Yeah.
And that's why I started a YouTube channel, because I didn't want anyone to see me sing in person, apart from once a year at the school talent show.
And you started doing more music when it was switching from MySpace to Facebook.
Yeah, I never actually had MySpace. I was just at the end of that, so I started a YouTube channel, and then through that I started developing a fan base.
Yeah. Do you know how people found you originally? Because then they weren't your classmates then, I guess.
Yeah, well, some of them found me at school, but it was just people on the internet really, like other young girls like me and guys that liked kind of acoustic music. That's how I started off.
Did you realize at a young age that you could make music your career?
No, not at all really.
Yeah.
I thought I was going to maybe do psychology or criminology.
Oh, okay.
I was really interested in that.
Yeah.
I also was interested in music, obviously going to like university for that or something, but I kind of just wanted to get out there and do it. I went to college. I basically didn't really like school, so I left. Went to college where there was like a music course.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't like a music college, but it was a college with a music course. And I left after 3 months because I thought I'd rather just be out there doing it. And I feel like music, you don't always need a degree. It's more about like who you know and I don't know, like your actual experience. So I decided to quit.
Yeah. And how far on were you in your career when Island found you?
Really early.
Yeah.
I'd released 2 EPs and I was on the radio in the UK, on the BBC radio.
That's crazy, and you did that all yourself to get to BBC?
Just independendly.
Wow.
And then I signed off the back of that, and then that was that.
Yeah. How did you realize all this at a young age? Did you have any mentors? Because or people around you doing music? Not really, right?
Not really.
Yeah.
Just the internet. So cool. There was a little community.
Yeah.
There's a few other girls doing it as well, and I think we always used to sort of, look at what each other were doing and support each other. And yeah, I think it just sort of grew naturally, and I was lucky to go on tour with other artists as well, which I think really helped sort of broaden the fan base.
What did your parents think of you doing music initially?
Yeah, they were really supportive. I was kind of a kid, so I think they thought it was just sort of like a little hobby or something I would do for a few years, and then I'm still doing it, so they're just kind of like, oh well then, I guess that's what you do. So yeah, my mum's been so supportive. My dad was kind of like, have a bit of fun, see how it goes. He's like me, he's like the pessimistic Scottish person, like really cynical.
Yeah.
And then yeah, now he's just like, oh, like, fair play.
Yeah.
You've still not had to go back to working in River Island, the clothes shop.
And then for Island, you said previously that they were like shelving you, and how at what age were you when that was happening?
I think it was about 19. I'd put out an album, and then they re-signed me, made another album for 2 years, and then they dropped me, and I was like, okay, what do I do now?
Yeah.
So that was really hard, and then decided to be a songwriter for other artists and just do that, and I had a great publisher, so yeah, I just did that for a bit. And then
it was also a difficult time for you, right?
Yeah, it was really shitty. I just didn't know like what I was doing, like what my future held. Yeah. Because I kind of thought like, oh, that was it. Like you only sort of get one shot. And I was happy to just write songs really for other people after that. After I kind of got over it. Yeah. And yeah, and then that sort of somehow turned into me singing the songs again. Yeah.
Was there a specific turning point for that you were like, okay, let me focus back on my artist career, and then getting the confidence to do it like individually? Yeah.
A lot of labels started being like, oh, like, have you thought about being an artist? And other writers and producers and stuff sort of encouraged me to give it a go. And I think like in here as well, I was like, I kind of want to be the one singing them. And I would go home late at night, and I decided to just start like a passion project from my bedroom studio. I would just make music that I loved, so songs like Sacred, The Moments I'm Missing, The Sun Will Come Up, The Seasons Will Change, songs like that I wrote alone in my bedroom. I just wrote them for like the love of writing, and then through that I had a lot of interest in those songs with labels and writers and all that, and I thought, oh, why not? I'll just put them out.
Yeah. How old were you when the Ed Sheeran tour and meeting him happened?
I was 17.
Oh,
yeah,
so it was before everything.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it's quite a weird time in my life.
And do you still have the same like team as before, or have you had a new team since your own independent project?
Yeah, but I've had a new team since before I signed to the label. But everything happened so quickly for me. That was such a weird time in my life. I was like on the radio and kind of still like not at school, but I should have still been at school. It was all like very strange. And I met this woman called Vicky, who's still my manager today, and she sort of picked up the pieces and was like, right. And yeah, it's been great. I've pretty much had the same team. I've got a lot of females on my team.
Oh, nice.
Which is nice because I feel like I can relate to them.
Yeah.
And Vicky's sort of been in industry for a very long time, and she kind of gets what it is to be an artist, so yeah, that was really good.
How did you meet Blackbear?
I've actually only met him once at his gig in Edinburgh. Went to see him at Red Rocks because I had a day off, but I've been a fan of his music for a while, and I love the Mansion stuff as well.
Yeah, so good.
I originally found him because I really like Mike Posner, and then I checked out Mansions, and then I checked out Blackbear, and I was like, oh, like he's really big here over in America. And yeah, I've just been a fan for a while, and then he heard my song The Best You Had and started like putting it in his Insta stories and tweeting the lyrics, and I was like, oh, how lovely. So yeah.
How about your song with Sasha Sloan and Charlotte Lawrence?
Yeah, that was really cool. That was the first ever collaboration that Spotify put together and released, which was like really cool to be part of. Charlotte's coming down tonight and singing with me, which would be good.
Cool.
They're just really fun girls. I think we're all so different as well, but like we're really different as people. Like Charlotte's like grown up here in LA, so fun, like so enthusiastic. Sasha's like super chilled out from Boston.
Yeah, she is.
Like
I interviewed her. She's
like
awesome.
Really sarky, kind of similar to me. But and then I'm like this Scottish like village girl here, and I'm like, where am I? And yeah, I think it's like a really cool mix because I think we're all quite similar musically, but as people we're all so different, but we all get along really well. So yeah, it's cool.
And what were your main inspirations for The Sun Will Come Up Between Still Chain?
The album?
Yeah.
So many different things. For me it was just like writing an open diary of being in your early 20s and all the weird and wonderful things that you experience.
I love it so much though.
Oh,
like, I can relate to so much.
I mean, it definitely was a bit of a weird time. So yeah, there's songs about my relationships that I've had, friendships. There's a song about my friend having a baby, who's the same age as me. She had a baby at like 21 and 22. And that for me was like, oh my god, like that was just such a big deal in our lives, like in our friend group, and just like all these things that was like taking you from adolescence into adulthood, and like trying to document that. But yeah, musically I would say anyone that's told their own story through their music really inspired me. So Alanis Morissette, Jagged Little Pill, that one really inspired The Best You Had. A lot of 90s noughties R&B pop, Destiny's Child, TLC, Lauryn Hill sort of inspired Loyal to Me, Love Letter, that sort of style. And then loads of other artists, like so many different genres. J. Cole, for Your Eyes Only album, he has a song called She's Mine Part 2, and that inspired my song Chloe on the album, which no one would ever guess because it's so different. But I just liked how he was talking about like actual relevant life things, relatable life things, not like, oh look at how much money I've got. It's just like him talking about his kid, and I was like, I like that. That's really cool that you're able to put that into music. So yeah, just so many different people really that I've been inspired by.
How would you say your music has changed compared to the early songs you made?
I think it's just matured really. I think a lot of people are like, oh, you've changed so much, but it's like I was 16, 17 when I wrote the first bunch of songs, and I was like 21, 22 when I wrote these, so I think just naturally you do grow up a lot, especially as a woman. Like it's a very different sort of age. So yeah, I think it's just matured really, and I think I've worked out like what I like doing as well, and what I'm good at and what I'm not so good at. Yeah.
What would you say have been your biggest challenges so far in life?
Probably confidence, because I feel like I'm very shy, very introverted naturally, and in this industry, like, you only get 5 minutes with people sometimes. It like takes me about 5 years to get to know someone. So like just having to be able to like not turn it on, but like be myself within like 5 minutes of meeting someone is quite hard. So that's probably the biggest challenge for me.
Yeah. What does love mean to you?
Lots of different things. Say, in a relationship, it should be someone that makes you feel good about yourself.
Yeah.
I think so often we can confuse love with like something that should hurt and make us feel crazy and all those things, and I've discovered that that's lust, and love is something that is a slow burn and lasts over a long period of time. And my parents they have been married for like so many years, and I think I'm really lucky to have had that example.
Yeah,
so I can kind of look at that and be like, okay, so that's really helped. Friendship should be someone that you can be honest with, I think. Yeah, I think love is someone that you can be yourself with, be honest with, and yeah, not make you feel shit.
Yeah. Last question, what do you want to be remembered for?
Let's go. I'd like to be remembered for my stories and making people feel something when they listen to my music.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I love
I'll be dead, I don't know. I won't know.
Yeah, it's just awesome. Thank you so much.
Thanks. Bye. Bye.